Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Monday morning trading room. I hope you enjoyed your weekend. I know I did. Weekends are always so short, though. Hang on here a second. We'll get the charts up and running. A little bit late here this morning. Well, maybe it'll keep me from doing something silly. Ooh, just looking here at the daily chart, which I'll bring over in just a moment, we have a bit of a downside gap. Can I bring the chart? There we go. So this is the daily NASDAQ, and you can see the market in a bit of a slide here last week. We did have a bit of a recovery on Friday. And as soon as my charts finish loading, we'll see that this is where we're opening, somewhere down here around the 74.19 zone, 7,400. And we closed near 7,600. So a big 200-point gap to the upside. My computer dragging here a little bit. I better not click too many more things. I'll lock it up. Well, the chart's really taking their time. Oh, here we go. Almost there. All right, I think everything is loaded now. And it looks like it was just as well. Had this really quick rally out of the open. It would have been impossible to trade. All these bars unfolded just far too quickly. And then over the next few minutes, looks like the market's going a little bit sideways. See, Trade Forecaster says, no, we're supposed to be in trend mode for the better part of the morning. Before I put the daily chart away, 7,400, as you can see, we're getting into this region where the market started to rally back toward the end of March, beginning of April. There's every reason to believe that the buyers are still in this zone. So when you see areas like that where prices begin to rally, those are going to be a little bit more sensitive support and resistance zones. I might give them a few moments here. This is more typical for a Monday, this type of volatility. All right, well, a brisk move now to the upside. Is that going to be an attempt to fill the gap? Things perhaps a little bit more bullish. Okay, here we're working a trend change signal in the Falcon, or pardon me, a late filter entry signal in the Falcon. The signal has since printed, but I'm going to look at this red bar here as my second push opportunity. See if some of that early momentum will actually take the market higher. So the signal printing down here. And I don't know if it, let's see, it printed at around 74.40. It would have, if it didn't hit the profit target, would be awfully darn close. Okay, not liking the fact that the trend line changed color here, but it could be one of these little things going on where it's just a little temporary pullback. There we go, things in our favor. Now, if we breach this 74.44 area, I'm going to be very quick with my stops. Come on, get above there. This hesitation, you know, is not obviously what you want to see. The better signal occurring right here. All right, looks like I'm going to get tagged on that one, so that's all right. I gave the trade a try. It was, I was a little bit late on the entry. Had I entered closer to the hash mark, I may have found my profit objective, but if not, I did get a little bit of an opportunity to roll my stops up. Given the entry down here, I could have done a little better getting my stops to break even. With the later entry, well, I did get tagged for a little bit of a loss, but other than that, other than being a little bit late on the entry side, I did everything correctly. So you can't beat yourself up too badly. There's going to be times when the market's just not cooperating. All right, let's put that away. We're getting still a little bit of back and forth here. Now we're seeing an attempt of the market to recover the downtrend. And a decent number one signal right here. I did consider this number one signal, but we're at the quarter to the hour mark, and the market does seem to be a little bit bouncy, choppy. Here too, though, if I was a little quicker on the entry, let's see, we got in at 28. We would be at the profit objective right now, down here at 23. And here we go now with the counter trend attempt. I'm thinking they may try to get into that gap, so I'm going to try another buy. Here we'll try this one on the Raptor. We're going to get an early trend change signal now on the Raptor. This is going to coincide with the Falcon signal, which will be a trend change signal. Oh, wait a minute. You can see what happened here on this number two signal, how quickly the market rallied. That, in a way, tells me that there's definitely buyers looking for an excuse to buy. Now, are they going to get stuck on the wrong side of the trade? All right, why don't we just leave that alone for a few minutes? All right, here we go again with the Falcon signal. We're working a late filter entry, and I'm going to spend a little less time talking here and a little more time trading because these signals are slipping right past me. Let's get that exit order out of the way. All right, I can tighten this a little. So I'm using this signal. This is going to be a second push entry. We're going to make another trend change signal along the way here. I'm going to roll my stops up now. Oh, don't tell me it's going to be another one of these kinds of days. Oh, yes, it is. All right. Wow. Okay, that's 2 for 2. I'm definitely putting the brakes on now. Ooh, look at that decline. That's wild. Well, it looks like they're going to try to get down here somewhere toward the lows of the morning. Let's see, where did we start the day? Started just below 7,400. Looks like 73.96 thereabouts. And that's where we find ourselves. Well, it looks like the seller's in full control here this morning. Getting a little bit of a sideways drift going on. What I would like to see now is a little bit of a pullback. And another opportunity to get in. Now that it seems we have a direction, okay, we had a couple decent little signals there. I'm still waiting for some of this volatility to settle down a little bit. All right, well, things are slowing somewhat. All right, more sideways chop here. And we are getting toward the end of opening range. So hopefully things settling down a little bit at this point. All right, so to me, what this looks like at the moment, obviously we have a big downtrend. We had a little bit of a sideways trading range right here. Here's the breakout, a really big retest to the top end. I'm going to put my just in case order to sell below here. All right, let's see what happens now. I'll throw my stop loss order in. I've got my profit order down here. Okay, we're almost halfway to the profit objective. There we go, we're halfway. So I'm going to start rolling my stops in. And now I'm going to really start to squeeze the trade a bit. Just go bar for bar.
Order filled. Order canceled.
All right. Well, a little bit more predictable. We did have a red bar, just regular sell signal here on the Eagle. We had the green bar sell off the hard edge. Remember, whenever you encounter the hard edges of your trading bands, you should always be on the alert for a reaction of some sort. Hey, way to go, Paul. Paul says he's long gold from 5:30 this morning, up 13 points on 2 contracts. Nicely done. Yeah, gold is a great market to follow as well. Nice thing about gold is it is definitely a 24-hour market. Okay, the bears really taken the buyers to the woodshed here this morning. It's one of these days where it's tempting just to short, just to get in with a short. And you know, the market seems to be heading lower. Well, we could be in for maybe a little bit of a pullback. The reason I say that is we've had several legs lower. We've had a nice move lower here. The market goes sideways. See how the next move is a little bit shorter and the market goes sideways. The next move shorter still and the market's trying to go sideways. Maybe even recover. Now, I don't think we're going to see a monster rally to the long side. Oh, here we just had a late filter entry signal on the Falcon again. All right, let's get the stop out of the way here a little bit. See, the market's challenging this swing low, so I want to keep my stop away from that. The late filter entry signal occurring right here. Oops, sorry, right here. The filter out of sync back into sync trend line, not changing color. It looks like I'm a little bit late on the signal again, but maybe we can ride out this first little swing and hopefully bring the stops up a little bit. I know I'm being a little bit stubborn on the long side here today. That opening gap keeps calling to me. In fact, wow, I'll be good and take profit on target, but I could see realistically a move back here to 7,400. That is not out of the question. In fact, you could stretch it even a little bit, and you could see it would still be a very, very strong move. 7,400, of course, where we started the day today. All right, so here after this little swing, we are producing another trend change signal on the Falcon. So the trend line changing color. Here's the move up that changed the trend line color. Here's the counter move. And now we're coming back with a warning dot and potentially a buy signal. And this is a very aggressive trade on my part, because the market does seem to be much more in a downtrend today. Yes, and Paul brings up a good point here. Paul asks, if gold is up, then doesn't it follow that the equity markets will be lower? Yes, most times. There is that inverse relationship between precious metals, gold in particular, and equities. Likewise, the 30-year bond has a tendency to move opposite. Right, we're getting a little bit of an uptick, not too much to get excited about just yet, as the buyers and sellers fight it out. Look at that. Every time they get back to this resistance zone around the 73 mark, I'm sure it's an early reaction to 73.75, because the market does have a tendency to gravitate towards those types of numbers. But they keep knocking it down. Okay, now the Bollingers are once again in sync, so that's mildly encouraging. I think I got the direction right because of this sideways hesitation. I don't know about my stops. If my stops are far enough away to ride out this constant back and forth, I would feel better having my stops below the low. That would give me a little bit more confidence in the trade, but you know, that is a lot of risk for me. So I'm gonna keep my stops handy. And all right, we're getting a little bit more bullishness coming in at this point. Let's see if we can get above that resistance zone. By the way, we're just tagging our high probability profit target. And you can see the little bit of a reverse that happens very often after we hit our high probability target. Boy, they're not making it easy on me today. See, they're going hunting for stops. Okay, second chance at the high probability target. Oh, Eric, you're going to be sorry you didn't take it. I think I'm already sorry. The double tap here on the resistance zone at 73.77. Okay. All right, at this point, I'm going to take the trade to break even. All this work, they had better get going. Come on. All right, here's a little bar with a tail to it. So I'll cover below that.
Order filled.
All right.
Order canceled.
Okay, well, not bad. Not a bad little move there. It didn't quite get all the way to my intended profit target, but it at least squared the books and put me back in the black. So the two losing trades, a couple of winning trades, I have once again met my trade quota, and I'm finishing the day in the black. So, you know, these are the kinds of days where I think it's really important that you use a trade quota to keep yourself from overtrading. And to stay on the correct side of the balance sheet as well. So it's not a stellar day, but it is a profitable day. And remember, the money is made in the multiples, not in trading more often. And now we are bouncing around yet again. Well, and here come the sellers. Well, if the sellers get turned around, we could be faced with a great big double bottom, which would get a lot of buying interest, I would think. All right, well, we are starting to get a little bit, the market in a little bit of a corner. It's a really big corner, but it is in a corner. So notice we have a rather large double bottom going on here. If you wanted, you could put your just in case order to sell below here. Likewise, you could put a just in case order to buy way above here. So what you're looking at is essentially a great big trading range breakout and retest. I know some of this stuff is not so easy to see, but here's the initial breakout. Here was the retest that failed. That's why the market went back down here to the bottom end. Should have broken the bottom end, gave us a little bit of a retest, and now we're heading back toward the top end. We're probably going to get a better entry signal here. Yeah, we already got one here on the Falcon, and with the Hawk, we're going to get an early trend change signal here on the Raptor. So you could look at potentially bringing your order in like this. That is also doable. So we have the warning dots. We don't have the signal just yet. And the clouds are just crossing. So like I said, this is really what I would refer to as an early trend change signal. Let's get a profit order in there. That's again a little bit more ambitious, but it brings us back here to where the market turned before. And if the market's going to come back up here, well, that's what it's going to try to do. It's going to try to exceed the last swing high. Or at the very least, retest it. Oh, that looks like it might have been a bit of a head fake, actually. Oh, here we go. Let's see if the buyers got it. If the market breaks down below these lows, it will continue lower. I don't do this often, but there is the potential there to reverse on your position. So what that means is the one trade will stop you out and the other trade will initiate a new short. The reason I don't reverse on positions is because sometimes you can actually get stuck on the wrong side of the market both ways. Here, let's try to leave a proper stop. See what's happening? You get the breakout to the short side. Where's the follow through? All right, maybe we'll get a little bit of follow through at this point. So we've got a couple of swings now. We've got a decent swing here, decent swing here. So I'm going to keep my stop 2 swings back. And where's the next support zone? Ooh, all the way down here. Well, that might be a tad ambitious.
Order pending.
I was thinking 73.50. Well, maybe I should do that. 70. Here we'll go 73.50. Yeah, see now here come the buyers again. I may well have had the right idea earlier, but perhaps the timing was off. All right, well, at this point, it's probably advisable to at least get the stops to break even-ish. And if we start to swing or, you know, bars that are looking bearish,
Order canceled.
then we'll bring the stops in. I didn't check the reports calendar at all, but I don't think there was a report out at the bottom of the hour today. And yet, here we are an hour into the session, and we're getting a lot of activity. Oh, look at that. We're getting another strong rejection here off of the 73.55 zone. I don't know if I want to buy just yet. Although I suppose we could, park our just in case order to buy above the highs here.
Order pending.
So you see how the market's honoring this trend line. We're going to see a little bit of a break. The sellers are going to try to recover it. If they do not, the market should go higher. So we can actually bring our order in. All right, so it didn't actually break. It did touch the trend line, but look at the rejection again. They're trying to go lower. They're not going lower. All right, here they go again. They're trying to go lower. Could put our just in case order to sell down here in case the sellers really are stronger. All this buying or attempted buying, if it fails, the buyers are going to scatter. Here's another attempted trend line break. And we can follow it down. You see how the market's really starting to get pinched. There's another trend line break. Here come the sellers again. Do they have enough? No, they don't. All right, well, here, let's swing for the fences.
Order pending.
See if we can't take the market back up near this 73.90 high. We are already at our high probability profit target. Well, for our Falcon anyway. Okay, I'm going to take this bar right here with this tail. Now we are at our eagle target. And I'm going to take this bar with the tail. Tiny tail. All right. Maybe I got tagged a little early, but with the added volatility that we have going on here, I would hate to see the market back up like it's doing now and tap me at break even. Ooh, that would make me mad. All right, well, not a bad little trade. Yeah, here they come again. See, we got the hard edge bounce, the number 3 signal. Once we encounter the hard edge here on the eagle, we also produce another buy signal. The fact that we've seen a rather large double bottom between the low here and the low here of the morning. And I guess even one before that, way back here. So a triple bottom. Sort of in the same price region. Well, we have a big retest. Things are getting really sloppy looking here now. But if this was our trading range and this was our breakout, this is now the retest. And here the red bar buy off of the hard edge, one of our high probability signals. Getting a lot of eagle signals here today. I think because of the big ranges that we're seeing, sometimes it's easier to see it on the bigger chart. All right, well, we're getting a trend change signal here in the Falcon. We're going to get a hard edge bounce signal here on the Raptor. Oh, doggone it. They got away from me again. All right, well, there's my second push opportunity on my trend change signal, which occurred right here.
Order filled.
All right, let's see if they got what it takes to get up to the profit target. You could roll your stops below some of these bars here with these little tails to them. Ideally, you want to give the market a little bit of room, especially since we're, tagging this swing high and we're trading back near this 73.90 zone, which was pretty influential earlier on. This is 73.90, of course, is where the sellers stepped up before. So we shouldn't be too surprised to see the sellers come back into the market at this point. But hopefully the buyers will give us just a little bit of a push. Come on, get above that last swing high and I can get my stops to break even. Nope, not yet. All right, well, I will roll them midway, kind of just taking this crest in the trend line into account. See if they can get up this time. All right, we'll take this trade to break even. No, they didn't. Didn't follow through. The Bollingers were starting to get a little bit neutral. That scared me off, but it should go higher. The market should try to trickle up here. So if you're a little bit more patient than I am, hang on there. It's probably going to get up there. There they go. Yeah, so I was just a little bit quick with my stops again. Big surprise there. Well, there we go. We got actually a very nice follow through on that. You can see we pushed well above 73.90, getting about 4 or 5 points higher. So actually a pretty decent little move there on the part of the buyers, and that is introducing a whole lot more bullishness into this market right now. Well, we got a little bit more back and forth going on now. Well, here we go with another little breakout pullback type scenario. But seeing how we're back to where we started the day, right back at 7,400, we saw the big rally out of the open, and then we saw the sellers come back. Oh, and here the sellers are showing up again. So I don't know. Overall, the market, in spite of the big ranges that we've seen, uh, fairly neutral, at least as far as the day session goes. All right, well, we're getting definitely some bearish follow through here. We're well below the bottom end of the trend line, the hard edge of the eagle trend line. We're going to get a trend change signal here on the Raptor. We already had the trend change signal actually occur very early here on the Falcon and the Hawk, but I was a little bit concerned about the trend line because, of course, when we encounter trend lines, we should anticipate some sort of reaction. All right, so here we're going to see a trend change signal on the Raptor. I'll get ready for that. Oop, there it is, right there. Are they going to give me just a little bit more? I'm a little annoyed today because the market is moving so briskly. I'm missing some of my entries. I got in a little bit late there, but it didn't seem to make that much of a difference. All right, well, if the market's not going down after this attempted move lower, there's probably a pretty good chance that it's going to try to go higher. So let's take a look here. We do have a buy signal here on the Raptor. We got a better signal here on the Falcon. So this is the trend change signal. And again, if the market's not wanting to go lower, it's probably going to want to go higher. So I'm going to try to extend the profit objective a little bit here. The key will be to get above these highs, of course. Once we're above those highs, there's actually, oh, where's my next resistance zone? Look at these ranges here. The market's just been making some really broad ranges. So our support and resistance zones are really extended. But there's a very realistic possibility, if we exceed these highs here, that the market will try to get up here. So I'm trying to leave my stop out of range for the time being. Oh, we're getting a trend change and a late filter to the short side. No. Stuck in another sideways trading range, and it's not looking promising right now. All right, well, let's see if we can break out above this last swing high. Then, of course, we got to break above 7,400, which is, again, where we kind of started the day here today. And that could take us back toward the high of the day, or near the high of the day. The high of the day actually closer to 7,450, believe it or not. You have to look back on your daily or hourly chart to see that. Let's see if the buyers are going to be able to muster anything here, or if it's going to be a bear day all day. Again, this is the type of situation where, if the market fails at this point, after so many repeated attempts to go higher, you could make a case for trying to short it. But we do have the sideways waffling going on. Very, very active for Monday. You can see the Bollingers here, very bearish at this stage. All right, gang, we're going to look at closing up the room here shortly. So if you have any questions, please ask away. All right, I will catch you again tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. Bye for now.